Hello, everybody. How's it going? Dependent Fanatic here, and we are talking quarterbacks. I don't have any notes in front of me or anything. I'm freestyling here for all of you, and I might go on a journey. You know, I have a lot of thoughts about this situation that football is in right now, where everyone wants to kowtow to quarterback. Every fan loves their quarterback until he screws up. Why? Why is quarterback the most important position? It still boggles my mind. Hear me out. I'm going to lay out some things. Um, there are arguably like one or two generational quarterbacks in each generation, right? And everyone thinks they got the next one, and all 32 teams in the NFL got the new rookie and everything. But I'm here to tell you, there's only two that are going to be really great ones that can take a team that isn't built yet and make it better and win. And in my generation, it was Tom Brady. He took a pay cut, built the team around him. He was the ultimate game manager. He's probably the best quarterback ever, the GOAT, right? Everyone calls him because of all of his wins, but is he really the most talented guy? No. No. Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, all the different people before him were much better quarterbacks at their position, but he knew what he had. He made it better. Generational leader right there. So there's a difference in quarterback between talent and leadership as well, and knowing situations. And maybe, Tom Brady lucked out in getting Bill Belichick, the master of situations, except he wasn't in college last week. But Tom Brady's unbelievable. There's only one of those guys. Patrick Mahomes now he can make anyone around him better. At wide receiver, the offensive line is going to be better because of him. It's rare that you get a quarterback like that. So the rest of the teams, I believe, I'm not talking specifically NFL. I'm talking about Bryce Underwood as well at Michigan, and how he is a rookie making money that is thrust into a position where the team isn't built yet. And maybe he is going to be one of those generational talents. Tom Brady had to learn a lot in college. He didn't win any national titles. He beat Alabama in a Sugar Bowl one time in his senior year, and then got drafted in the 6th round. And then he had to work, and then he found a team. That's all I'm saying. Quarterback isn't everything. I think the offensive line is what a team needs to focus on before you get a quarterback. So in Bryce Underwood's case at Michigan, for instance, all the fans wanted him. Even a couple of billionaires wanted him, and a millionaire in Dave Portnoy. They went and got this guy. I don't know that Sharon Moore wanted him on this team as the head coach yet, because we could have used that money and spent that money on an offensive line, and then we'll just go get the next best guy next cycle after the team is already built, and it would have been a much smoother transition. So the teams still matter even in the NFL. Look at all the teams that won the Super Bowl recently. And you think they're generational quarterbacks, but really they have a hell of a team around them. Who's winning? Lamar Jackson making it to the Super Bowl all the time, and then they just played the Bills, and the quarterback there, slipping my mind right now, but he's great for the Bills. But what would those two players be without all that uber talent that are on those two programs, Baltimore and Buffalo? I don't think they'd be as good. And so we had like my Detroit Lions, who drafted a quarterback and then paid that same quarterback when they were 0-16, and then when they were middling in the NFL, they paid this guy to stay. Why? He didn't have an offensive line. He didn't have anything outside of Calvin Johnson for a couple years. Yes, I'm talking about Matt Stafford. Well, guess what? The Rams had built a team and acquired a team, and now their quarterback is on Detroit we don't have a team again for him, but Stafford found a place where everything was in place, and he won a Super Bowl. Russell Wilson. The Seattle was amazing. The Legion of Boom and everything. They had everything in place, and then they got a rookie to win them, a first-year contract quarterback to win Super Bowls for them. Even Tom Brady went from the Patriots to arguably the best team in the NFL in the Tampa Bay at that time. The roster around him there was elite. Gronk came back, and he won a Super Bowl. Peyton Manning did it in Indianapolis before he went to Denver on his second contract and won a Super Bowl right away because everything around him was elite. So I'm not saying quarterback doesn't matter, but the one thing that is true in every case of all of these quarterbacks is that the team around them is elite. And that is where the money goes. That's where the focus should be. And more importantly, it's the offensive line for all of these teams. And so I'm not trying to drag quarterbacks through the mud or whatever. I'm just saying they're not what you start with in building a team. And Michigan tried to do that this year. And now the Lions with Goff, he was traded. He almost did it. If the Lions defense wasn't totally hurt, like injured, taken out across the board on that side of the ball, Detroit probably would have won the Super Bowl with Jared Goff. But it would have been because of the offensive line that Detroit had last season and the weapons. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Williams, Laporta. You can go on and on. Reynolds, and then Gibbs at the running back position, and Montgomery at the running back position. It was a team. There's only a couple of quarterbacks that can win without the best. And they're far and few between. Maybe Bryce Underwood is one of those guys. Jared Goff is not. We saw that at Green Bay. If he doesn't have an offensive line, he doesn't have mobility, there's no way he can be accurate and do what he does and pick a defense apart. He needs protection. He's not like Aaron Rodgers, who's now at Pittsburgh, making them look good, beating his old team, running around, throwing 4 touchdowns. That's not what Jared Goff does. So you have to know your quarterback. And then the other thing for Michigan is, like I think I started to say, the fans wanted Underwood. I don't know if Sharon Moore, I think maybe he wanted to smash more, but because Underwood is here, you have to kowtow to that quarterback. And he doesn't have everything in front of him. So, doing it backwards, like Stafford in 20 or whenever that was, when Detroit went 0-16, we got the number 1 draft pick, and we took Stafford out of Georgia. He was Stat Padford. That's what he was. He did the best he could with the shit that we had here. And that's why he went on to a good team and won a Super Bowl. So he was a good quarterback, but he needed something around him. So does Bryce. And so money should be allocated to the offensive line if I'm a Michigan fan. That is the most important position. I am a Michigan fan, and I say that is the most important position in all of football. Not the quarterback. Because there's 32 quarterbacks. Some are better than, you can list them, rank them, however the hell you want to do that. But they can't win without an offensive line. They can't. And I can tell you all the great ones, all the great quarterbacks had an offensive line. So that's where it starts, up front, and then get them weapons. Defensive line is probably way up on my board as well. I've done this video before, but it remains true. People are attacking Bryce, and it's not his fault. It's Michigan's fault for not protecting this guy, not allowing, and maybe it's Michigan fans' fault for just forcing Underwood on the new coaching staff. Maybe he didn't, like I said in a comment that I had on, I think it was Michigan Podcast with Steve Dace. It was like, maybe Sharon didn't want that headache yet. Maybe he was trying to build the team from within, and maybe them $12 million that the fans put up and rich people put up, maybe that would have been better if it was allocated towards the offensive line. And then that makes a mediocre quarterback look really good. We've seen it. Either way, you have to have an offensive line. And that's my rant here today. That's the number one thing for me. Quarterback is good and everything, but there's only a couple that are going to transcend the sport. And everyone's clamored after that guy. And I'm like, hey, give me a team of offensive linemen, and I can make any quarterback look good. Let's do that. So I'm still at that spot. What do you guys think in the comments below? Am I too harsh on the quarterback position? What's your philosophy, basically? Let me know in the comments below. You know mine. Ground, run, play action. Then the quarterback can do whatever the hell he wants to, no matter who it is. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I think that's how you build the video, and then you go get a guy that's cheap on a rookie contract, especially in the NFL. That's what I have. Have a great day, everybody. That's my rant for today.